Welcome back to the lineup. In the two major Mideast battlegrounds against the Islamic State, in Syria and Iraq, Kurdish forces are playing a key role. And in Iraqi Kurdistan, it's the Peshmerga. In a new documentary by the same name, French author and philosopher Bernard-Henri Lévy goes inside Iraqi Kurdistan with Peshmerga fighters on the front lines. He joins us now from our Paris studio. Good evening.
Hello.
So before we talk, let's see a clip of the movie Peshmerga.
C'est bon. Hein?
Maybe down. It's not good.
Les fous de Dieu seraient-ils meilleurs terroristes que combattants? Nous aurons passé 6 mois sur la route de cette guerre à vouloir comprendre.
عجب لباش بزنت هندي پشمرگه هيا دي برابونيش اوخو خاكت و هر بوسطك داعش لسربت پشمرگه بر هوا خا گوري و اخي بكت.
So back now with Bernard-Henri Lévy in our studios in Paris. This documentary was shot during an offensive in July 2015. Tell us a bit about how and where this was filmed.
It was filmed along the front line, starting from Jalaula in the south of Iraqi Kurdistan, close to the Iranian border, till the north, the Sinjar Mountains. This means 1,000 kilometers, and with a small crew of cinema, we made this road since July till December, till the end of November, till the liberation of Singal, which is the capital of the Sinjar Mountains.
So you have somewhat of a history of holding sway over French foreign policy, and I've read this film being described as a political intervention. Are you indeed trying to change European policy here?
No, I would like to change the idea which we have, number one, of Daesh. We see Daesh as a sort of huge monster, a huge army capable of winning victories and very frightening. The image I show is a much more weaker ISIS, a much more coward ISIS. This is one thing. The other thing, I want to show to whoever wants to see the bravery of the Peshmerga, how they are in front of the possibility of death, how they wage their battles and how they win them, and how they protect the minorities of the area.
So speaking for a moment then about the Peshmerga fighter, something that always stands out when seeing images, including from your film, of the Peshmerga, are the female fighters. Tell us a little bit about that, about what you witnessed there.
About the Peshmergas, you mean?
Yes.
What is so moving about them is that they are at the same time very good fighters and not professional fighters. They spend, first of all, some of them are 50, 60, 70 years old, maybe sometimes older. They are not young, professional beasts of war. And number two, they spend half of the year in civilian life and half of the year, 6 months, on the front lines. And this idea of a civilian army devoted to the battle they wage, but not having the love of war, frankly, is something to what the area did not accustom us so much, and this is not bad. This is even sort of great. So I know two sort of armies. Yeah.
You've said you want the film to give moral recognition to a Kurdish homeland. And when you have Turkey today fighting a sort of parallel war against Daesh, against IS, and against the Kurds, what do you think it would take to actually make that happen? Do you see it happening?
I think, first of all, we, the allies, the so-called allies of Turkey inside NATO, should ask Turkey to choose its camp. You cannot be at the same time against ISIS and against the Kurds. You cannot at the same time let ISIS deliver weapons to ISIS commanders in Syria and blocking the Kurdish Peshmergas who come to support the city of Kobane 1 year ago. This double game of Turkey is not bearable any longer. And Mr. Erdogan, who is not precisely a Democrat, as you know, should at least be a faithful ally of those who want really to destroy ISIS. He is not for the moment.
So let's look forward for a moment. We're talking about completely fragmented countries. Looking just at Iraq, if we're to be optimistic and say, sort of going in the vein of what you're saying, that a defeat of the Islamic State is within reach, what then? Who do you see taking control?
Iraq is a failed state. The key RG, the Kurdish autonomous area, is not a failed area. In the Kurdish area, you have an army which exists, which is brave. You have a discipline. You have a sort of state. You have a real discipline. This is the paradox of the situation. The recognized state, which is Iraq, is failed. The unrecognized Kurdistan is a sort of well-achieved state. This is the paradox of the situation.
Bernard-Henri Lévy in our studios in Paris, thanks very much for being with us. And the film, the documentary, is called Peshmerga. Thanks very much.